Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. My name is Josh Lilquist. Today is December 1st, first trading day of the month. It is about 8:45 Central Time. November has come and gone, and we had a great move in November with the stock market. November looks like it roughly, I guess we can get almost exact here, but the market was up almost, I'd say, as far as the S&P 500, almost 10 or roughly around 10% for the week. But don't be so sure. We might be stuck in a rut. The market's been sitting in the same spot here for, let's count the days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. It's been stuck in this little range between 453 and 457. So that's what we're going to discuss here on the show. That is the S&P 500. We'll do a market update with your major markets, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, IWM. We'll get into some commodities. We'll look at our other ETFs, see if there's any major notables or any move or actions on the day. We will check out our stock update, and we will also check out our quick crypto update, since that is a hot topic each and every single day. As we know, there is risk in trading and investing. You can and will lose money at one point in your life. It's strictly for entertainment purposes only, mainly mine. But hopefully you find it entertaining as well. S&P 500 SPY, 456.07, currently down 0.08% on the day. So really, market hasn't done anything for about 9 days, as we mentioned, and it is showing the same thing here today. Looks like it actually gapped down a little bit, and showing some strength out of the open. So that is your S&P 500 SPY. We are back in that same demand zone. Our supply zone that we've been talking for quite some time. It tested at one time back in August, and it dropped off of that. We're still in there. I'm actually surprised we're still sitting in this demand zone. I would have thought that the majority of the supply and orders have been eaten out of there, but it's just filling these orders, and that's why we've been hesitating for a while. I probably will. Quite frankly, I see this going up, but who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. I've been wrong once in my life before. That's your S&P 500 ETF update, SPY. Dow Jones Industrial Average. This one's a little bit of a different story. This one here, yesterday, shot straight up on the day. It gapped up and didn't look back. It opened at almost the low of the day and closed at almost the high of the day. So the Dow Jones had a decent move yesterday. Today we are up 0.08%, so basically it's flat on the day. That being said, it is showing some strength out of the open here, since it's been open for about almost 20 minutes here, 18 minutes to be exact. That's your Dow Jones Industrial Average update, ETF, DIA. QQQ, which is your NASDAQ. This one's been a different story than the other two. That one is actually down yesterday. It showed major weakness all day long, and there's probably because a lot of the Magnificent Seven, your tech stocks, haven't been performing like they have been in recent times. So the Q is 387.67, down 0.27% on the day, and quite frankly, not a whole lot of action here for the past 9 days as well, but down 1.7 here in the last few days. But it's still the same thing. 9 days, it's just kind of sitting here, not really knowing what to do. I'll check and see if there's any news coming up. I don't think there was today. We will open up Forex Factory as we're talking here, but I don't think there was any major news, but we'll check it out and see anyway. Yesterday, the Fed Chairman Powell talked today. Canadian dollar has some unemployment and employment change rates here today. So other than that, not much for the United States dollar. Today is when Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So that most likely is could be why there's not a whole lot of action today or in a while in the markets. So that's your QQQ NASDAQ update. IWM, same story, gapping down, showing some strength out of the open. Blah, 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 blah. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days in this same little area. So not doing a whole lot, not much of an action for traders. Even the short-term traders aren't really getting too much of action as well. Even on a 1-hour chart, the market's just really not doing a whole lot. Got a nice little demand zone on the Russell, down about, let's mark this out, around the 169.61 to 169 even area. Little rally-based rally, gapping up bigly out of that and showing major strength, passing a previous pivot high, actually a few of them. So we'll see what happens when it gets back down there, if it does. That's your IWM 179.44. Other notables, you got some ETFs we'll look at. Not a whole lot of big movers today other than oil. USO up 1.25% on today after the big drop yesterday. Yesterday looks like we dropped from the open to close almost 4%, but the market had gapped up, so it was about 3% of a loser yesterday on USO. That looks good for our prices at the pumps. You don't see $2 something gas here in Minnesota ever, and we are seeing that in a couple different spots. It's almost all over 3, but that being said, it's not 5 like it was before. I know California probably see it's $5, $6, $7 per gallon right now, so I feel for them, especially for the vehicle I got. It's I'd say my vehicle is a little thirsty. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant or a nightclub or a bar and you ask a girl what her name is, and she says, "My name's Thirsty." All right. So, gold, $2,042.11. Currently up 0.29% on the day. Slowing down here in this little area that it's sitting at right now as it continues to chug along and coming out of that demand zone, up about 12% out of that demand zone. So looking pretty darn good for gold. Silver, flat on the day, 25.27. Continuing that little up streak from the end of September, beginning of October. And gosh, if we see these highs get up 26.10, I mean, we might see this go up to $30 again. Who knows? We'll see. No major supply zones to note. Demand zones below. Maybe on a 4-hour chart. Yeah, you got a few there on a 4-hour chart. Down $22 or so. Bitcoin, 38,000, topping 838,000 here, hitting the highs here of 38,745. Hasn't been there since May of 2022. So Bitcoin is surging again. Bitcoin is looking really good from the lows, up 50% since, quite frankly, 55% actually since September. So wow, that's a big move for Bitcoin. But we got to check out our HNT. $3, over $3 per HNT. That is phenomenal. Looking good there for us helium miners. I like that. Now we are up 127% from the lows of September as well. Looking really good for HNT. Might have to go buy some, actually. I've been recently mining that, but I wonder when Florida, I bet Miami was testing 5G. I'm wondering if that was when the market started to bottom and then started to go up here again. We'll see. All right, that's your crypto update. Stocks, Nvidia's flat. Turtle Beach down 0.3%. Tesla down 2%. So that's going to continue to lag on the, I think that's in the NASDAQ. It is. Meta's down 1%. Goog is down 1%. 3M. Intel's down 2.7%. Alibaba's down 3%. Target is down 0.5%. Got to check out our JWN, which is Nordstrom's, looking real good. Hopefully got that expiration here next Friday, so we will look to have that expire, collect our premium, and look for the next opportunity. Coinbase continuing to surge, up 3.75%. Nike up 3.3%, and Elf Beauty up 4.62%. So that is a quick update on your Friday, December 1st. I'll do a market recap probably tomorrow morning on the recap, the winners, the losers of the day. Quite frankly, the overall market's not a whole lot of action here this week, but we will still do that market recap for you, and we will continue to produce content for you. Also, make sure to subscribe or like the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. We do appreciate our Spreaker listeners, Spreaker. The listeners there really help out the algos, so really helps the show, helps us continue to deliver good content for you. So, as always, collect your profits when they're given to you and protect your losses, keeping them small. Until next time, we tire you out, my friends.